Around the Ozarks is now on your FM radio. Listen to Around the Ozarks mornings with Grace Gooley as I spotlight local people, stories, and podcasts, all while playing the country legends of the 90s and the hit makers of the 2000s. It's on the Ozarks' best country, 105.1 The Bull. It's time for Around the Ozarks Sports Scene, brought to you by Colton Steakhouse, Thompson Sales, and Deadeye Gun and Pawn in Sparta. Here's your host, Scott Purrier.
Welcome into another edition of Around the Ozarks Sports Scene. I am Scott Purrier. As always, big thank you to you for tuning in this week as we talk sports in and around the Ozarks and beyond. And special guest, we're taping this late night on Tuesday after a minor league baseball game. Our special guest is the former three-sport standout for the Nixa Eagles and now a minor leaguer with the New York Mets organization. We welcome in Wyatt Vincent. Wyatt, good evening.
Good evening, Scott. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Had a night off tonight, kind of a chance to reset mentally and physically and get more accustomed to the grind of professional baseball. And this is your first full season with it. Of course, drafted in the 11th round last summer. Had a great career at Nixa and had committed to Missouri State baseball and got the offer from the New York Mets with the 11th round draft pick and said, I'm going to go play pro. And kind of give us, before we get into this, your thoughts overall on professional baseball and where you are at right now.
Yeah, it's been a good year. It's been a lot of fun. Started off in spring training, and getting my first spring training was really a good time. You know, meeting all the guys from all the levels, a couple of big leaguers here and there, and just really getting to experience what it was like to be a minor league player. Because last year after the draft, it was kind of like this, but it wasn't fully like what a season's like. It's a little different. So first season it's been a grind. It's been fun. The days are long. But I mean, I wouldn't want it any other way. It's hot. It's a lot of baseball, but it's what you signed up for. It's not at all really what I expected. And the coaches will even say that to the new guys, like, this is not what you expected pro baseball to be like. And it's very true. You know, I thought coming in it'd be, you know, they're pounding you like college and like pounding in, you know, all these reps and whatever. And it's not. It's really like feel-based and loose, and like they want you to feel good for the game, because ultimately what matters is what you do in the game, not obviously what you do in practice matters, but they'll even tell you, like, we want you to perform in the game and not be an all-star in practice. So it's been different. It's been fun. I've definitely really, really enjoyed it.
Awesome. And it's hard. I mean, it's professional baseball for a reason. I mean, you have wood bats in your hand after you've been used to having a career of hitting aluminum, you know, throughout high school and everything else. And everybody's a professional and everybody's really, really good. And you know, you go through rookie league and then you get promoted to A-ball, where you are now with the St. Lucie Mets. It used to be Port St. Lucie. Are they just St. Lucie now?
Yeah, it's the city's Port St. Lucie, but the team is just St. Lucie. Yeah.
St. Lucie. So they kick Port out pretty much, right? Yeah. What is it when you get right down to it that makes it so hard to transition from being a really good high school player, being a Division I recruit at Missouri State, to professional baseball? And you know, you've had your moments. Obviously, you're still very fast and stealing bases. I think you've got eight to 10, somewhere in that range. And you've had some pop. I think 4 homers. You've had some great plays. We've seen highlights on in the field. But what is the biggest difference and that big leap from high school baseball to I'm a pro now?
Everyone's a pro.
Yeah.
You know, in high school, like, you play guys, and even in summer ball, we play guys and they got 20 Division I commits. But out of those 20 guys, maybe 2 would play professional baseball. And here, everyone's a professional. So everything is just that much higher level, that much better. Guys' fastballs move that much more. Curveballs have that much more spin. And, you know, guys just play much better defense. There's not a lot of, like, fundamental errors that happen, and you know, everything's so minute detail. You know, in high school and stuff, like, you're working on a lot of like more broader aspects to your game. Here it's like really small things that they're trying to fine tune with you. And that's just the difference. I mean, everyone here is so good. And like, even if you go to an SEC school, not all those guys will play professional baseball, but everyone here is a pro and they're designed to be here. And it's a challenge because, even the guys who came in from the draft, like our coaches, will say like, you guys were the star in your high school, star in your college, and now you're just another professional baseball player. And there's a lot of truth in that. Coming from high school and being, really excelling at high school baseball, and then coming here with other high school guys, and it's like they did the exact same thing at their high school. And now what can I do to separate myself from them and get where I want to go is what it's down to now. It's just a race of, who can play the longest at this point.
For those who don't understand, and kind of tell us the biggest difference between playing professionally with a wood bat versus what you've used all your life, other than some summer league stuff. But as a hitter, what is the big difference?
Yeah, I mean, wood is, astronomically different. There's like, hitting a ball hard with a wood bat is so much harder than hitting a ball hard with a metal bat, because with a wood bat, you got to hit it, on the barrel to hit it hard. With a metal bat, you can get away with getting jammed and hitting a home run, and getting jammed and hitting a double, and that doesn't really happen that much. With a metal bat, everyone here would have 50 home runs, and that's just how it is. That's why we use wood. It's a lot harder, and the bats break, so you got to be careful. But yeah, it's a big difference. It's also good that we don't use metal bats, because there's some guys who we've played against and with that would probably do some real damage to someone with a metal bat. But yeah.
Take us through the back, for those people who don't remember, the decision to go pro. I mean, you had a Missouri State team, Coach Joey Hawkins, that you'd committed to, and of course that's what they go through every year. They want to recruit guys like you because it's going to make them better if they're able to retain you as a college team. And of course they had a good year. When it came down to it, what was it for you that said, hey, I want to go give this pro thing a try right now?
So it's kind of a deeper backstory to it. Obviously committing pretty young to go play college baseball. And there was kind of that midpoint in like high school where I kind of thought about like, maybe this is a possibility. Like I kind of want to try for this. And, whenever I got my agent and, we kind of started talking about things, and I kind of talked it over with my parents and, my uncle who played for the Reds in the minor leagues. And they were like, you could play a couple years of college and then try it again, or you could shoot your shot now and have that extra couple years of development in professional baseball. And that was kind of in the back of my head going through high school. And as we got closer and closer, I kind of realized that like that's what I wanted to do. Obviously, if the opportunity came where I still had to go play college ball, I would do it. But getting the phone call and hearing that that's going to happen, like I had no doubt in my mind that that's what I wanted to do. And Coach Hawkins was like, I think the second phone call I got like 2 minutes after, and he was like, yeah, like you got to take this, like this is awesome. And that just shows Joey's character. He was really pushed. He would obviously wanted me to come to campus, but he told me, he was like, yeah, like you should take this. And that's what I did. And I don't regret it. And I definitely wouldn't go back and change it. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Take us through the whirlwind that is getting drafted and then getting signed and then off to the races. What happened right after last July's draft? Where did you go, and what did the rest of 2025 hold in that regard?
Yeah, so I'll try and keep it pretty short. So basically I was in Virginia. They called me I think it was the night of the draft. They said, hey, where are you at? And I was like, oh, I'm in Virginia. They said, well, do you got all your stuff? And I go, yeah, I got most of it. And they said, okay, can you fly down here tomorrow? And I was like, I think I'm going to go home for a day. And they were like, okay. So I went home the next day, had a little draft party, Stayed the night at my house. I had a training session that morning with my trainer, and then went to Florida. Actually, my plane got canceled in Charlotte, so I had to stay the night there and then came out the next day. But so you got all your medicals you got to do, and just a whole bunch of like onboarding stuff the first couple of days, and then 2 or 3 weeks of practice, just kind of like getting used to the schedule. Then the college guys went up, and we stayed down and played 2 games a week, practiced the other days, and did that until September 1st. And then a lot of the guys left, and I stayed with some other guys, and we hit against rehab pitchers and just continued working out and stuff, and stayed there till mid-September, came home for a few weeks. Then I came back in the fall for Instructs, just strength conditioning camp. That was 6 weeks long, and then went home in November. Was home till February 15th, and then came here for spring. And yeah, that pretty much was what happened after the draft.
Who and where do you work out when you're back home? I mean, is there a plan for this winter kind of similar to what you did last winter?
Yeah, kind of. I might change a few things just in my process and how I do things. But, for the most part, Nixa has been more than welcoming, allowing me to use their gym. So Coach Gold, our strength conditioning coach at the high school, he still writes my leg program. So I go in there and work out with him 2 days a week. They let me use the Apex and do all my sprints in there and stuff. And then this past offseason, I used XFit for upper body, other conditioning stuff there. And then my trainer, Dion Hollyman, he actually got his own facility this past offseason. He's Pure Performance now up in Ozark. And I train with him 4 to 6 days a week with him. And yeah, it's been good. Last year was good, but I know some aspects that I need to work on this year. So we're going to have a little more well-rounded plan of what I'm going to be trying to accomplish and improve this offseason.
First spring training for you this past spring. You said big leaguers mixed in with minor leaguers. I know that from past interviews with you, you're a baseball cards and collectibles guy. You mostly a lot of old people, but were you looking around and there's Juan Soto over there and there's Francisco Lindor over there? Did any of that happen? Did those guys, how did they treat you as a rookie coming in?
You don't really see them. You don't see those guys very much. No, they're pretty much on their own side. Lindor, he played a game with us one time, but I didn't really talk to him. I mean, he just, like, you walk in and you just can tell that he's a big leaguer. Like, there's something different about any big leaguer, whether he's well established or, just a normal big leaguer. Like, you can just tell that they're a big leaguer by how they carry themselves, how they play, their attitude, everything. And that was kind of one thing I picked up from him was, like, he knows, like, everyone knows who Lindor is, but he didn't, like, make that a big separator between us. Like, he was giving good advice to guys, and he wasn't acting like, oh, like I'm Lindor, like I don't like these guys. Like, he was really helpful, he was really insightful, and how he carried himself was something that I've picked up on and like tried to better myself and how I carry myself on the field, off the field. Like, everything was just a good role model to see and to be around my first spring training. And yeah, I'd noticed that throughout the years we had some guys rehabbing with us. Like, you can just tell, like, those guys are big league pros. Like, there's just a difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we had some pitchers fill in. We mingled with some hitters, but for the most part, they were on their own side. But as far as the card collecting goes, I actually got a chance to hang out with MJ Melendez a little bit. Used to play on the Royals. He's a humongous card guy. So we got to talk cards a lot and stuff like that. So that was pretty fun.
That's awesome. What did you take away from your first spring training that will make you better prepared for your next one coming up next February and March?
I don't really know. It was just kind of not what I was really expecting. It was pretty much, just practice and everything. But I think it exposed some areas that I need to work on and, better prepare for next spring training. I feel like in some areas I was a little behind in my hitting, like I wasn't like well tuned in some areas that I needed to be. So it's just the whole year has been really good to show me some great things that I can work on in the off season. And, a lot of that's with hitting or just like technique stuff, just really small things that got exposed and just some weaknesses in my game that I think, will help me out in the long run.
I've interviewed guys like you in the past, young guys, 18 years old, 19 years old, that go to professional baseball, and to a man, they talk about how difficult it is, not the baseball part as much as the lifestyle. You're on your own now and you're traveling, and thankfully you're in a Florida State league that your teams are all right there in the state. You're not having to have 15, 16-hour bus rides or whatever. But what about that side of things? And, being on your own, you got a taste of it late last summer and fall, but now it's full go this year with it. How has that been for you? And what's life like in the minor leagues?
Yeah, it was tough last year a little bit. But my parents, they did a good job of like raising me in a way that I'm prepared to live on my own. So like I knew how to cook, I knew how to clean, I knew how to do all this stuff. And, I give huge credit to them. They fully prepared me for this. And if you ask my dad, he'll say, since you were 3 years old, I told everyone you're going to be a professional baseball player. And we trained you like that. We prepared you like that. And that is just huge credit to them, like allowing me to have the access to those things to be able to come out here on my own at the time, 18 years old, and be perfectly fine and know exactly what I need to do and what to get and stuff. But yeah, it's been different. It's weird, like coming home and just being by yourself. But I filled that time with good things. I built a lot of Legos, read some books, watched a lot of movies, and I've been reading my Bible a lot and getting in the Word. So I've made some good friends through that. With my faith and everything. So it's been really good. It's been a challenge adjusting, from FCL to low A, because the FCL schedule is all morning and now it's all night. So on a night like tonight, probably won't be in bed till like 1 a.m, whereas in the past I was in bed at 9. It's just different, but it's fun. But just having to find ways to occupy the time so I don't, waste it. It's still time that I can use to better myself. So that's why I got into Legos, so I could build stuff and, tap into the creative side and, read books and whatever else. But just tried to fill the time with useful things. And I feel like that's made it a lot easier.
And you played tonight in Roger Dean Stadium in Jupiter, Florida, which is the spring training home of the Cardinals. A lot of fans here have gone down to the park. Was that your first time in the park to be a part of that? You're there all week, so you had tonight off, but tomorrow your first start in there, I imagine.
Yeah, I haven't been in the stadium before, just on the backfields.
What have you learned? You talk about the things that you need to work on. Specifically, what are some of those things that you'll spend time in the off season and the rest of this season kind of trying to hone in on?
Yeah, so a lot of it's, my base stealing. There's been a lot of new technique introduced this year. And I think there's a lot of areas, I've actually been talking to the coaches a lot recently in the past few days about ways to improve my technique, my timing, things like that. So I'm going to carry that into the off season, especially like my reaction time is a big thing. I'm going to tap into this off season, my reaction time on the pitcher and just in everything really, because that helps out a lot. And obviously in baseball, but the swing wise, just trying to dial in like how I want to feel in the box. It's kind of a big thing that got exposed to me this year is like throughout high school and summer ball, like you never really had like access to like a great like camera system or anything, you're just kind of going on feel. And now that I have that camera system, like in all that stuff, I can like see what it looks like when it's good, but how can I feel, how can I feel when things are good? And so it's trying to memorize that feeling and get into a good, comfortable spot where when things are going wrong, I know what to fix. And it's a huge thing to work on. And like a lot of guys are still working on it, but it's an area I think if I start on it now and as I get better and get older, I think it'll help me a lot. And yeah, a lot of it's just feel in my swing. It's been like a lot of changes in the past year. I've had a humongous swing change in the last year. So just really trying to dial in with that and my routine and, everything that's going to help me keep that swing progressing forward.
The Florida State League, is it high A, low A, just an A? What are the progression of steps now? If you finish strong or start strong next year, what's the next step up? Is it double A or is there another A level?
So, yeah, we have 2 A levels. Some teams only have 1 A-ball level, but we have 2. So we have low A and then high A is up in Brooklyn, and then double A and triple A.
Yeah. And, have you found that is it – we hear this all the time about professional baseball, that it's more of a me game instead of a we game? I mean, do you guys – I know you want to win because everybody's a competitor, but is it more about your development than it is about the St. Lucie team winning games and winning championships?
No. So I think FCL, obviously still you wanted to win games, but in the FCL, they really hammered in on like what we want you to work on, and like you can fail, but we want you to get better. But we still wanted to win games, but there's still playoffs. Like everyone still wanted that. In St. Lucie, there's a huge emphasis on winning. We talk about it every single day. Now, there's still a humongous emphasis on, our development. That's why we practice for 4 or 5 hours before the game, because our development is so important, and like that's how we're going to get better. But still, like there's a championship season, there's playoffs, all this stuff, and like we talk about it every day. Even on our schedule every day, it says winning attitude. How can we win games today? So it's both, and it's not a me game, and it's not a me game. People say, on the outside, like, oh, pro ball is like, nobody cares about winning. They just want to see how good you are, which you obviously do want to perform. Like you want good numbers and everything, but you still want to win. And like that competitiveness never goes away at any level. And our coaches hate to lose, and so do we. Like everyone here wants to win.
How excited do you get when you have family come down? Your girlfriend comes down. I think grandma and your uncle are down there now. Is that kind of does it kind of perk you up a little bit when you see a familiar face from back in the Ozarks?
Yeah, it's a good feeling. Usually once a month, family, girlfriend, whatever comes down. It's good. It helps me tap out a little bit from the baseball and just kind of enjoy outside of baseball a little more. Go do some fun things I normally don't do, or just spend some quality time with people I'm pretty familiar with. So yeah, it's good. I really enjoy having people down here, but I also enjoy the time alone. So they actually say sometimes, like, hopefully we're not taking up too much of your alone time, because might be like 2 or 3 weekends in a row people are here, and I'm like, nah, it's all good. I enjoy it. So It's a good time.
Was there a game in particular or a moment in spring training where you kind of did something and said, hey, I belong here, I can do this? Was there any type of moment there, or has it just been a collection of confidence building things that have happened?
No, I mean, coming into spring training, like you can't wait for the moment to decide that you're there. It's you get there and you're like, I'm here. I belong here. I'm here for a purpose, and like I'm here to do what I need to do to get to the next level. And I feel like that's pretty collective amongst the guys. I don't really feel like anyone was waiting for that opportunity to be like, hey man, like look, I finally made it here. It's like the second you got off the plane, you're like, look, I'm in spring training, like let's go, let's do this thing. So yeah.
Wanted to ask you too, 3-sport athlete at Nixa, very good football career, basketball, obviously the baseball. Playing baseball full time now, is that something? Do you miss the other sports, or does this feel like a job, or does it still just feel like baseball?
Oh, 100%. I don't miss basketball as much because I mean, I liked basketball, but ultimately, like my last year, I was kind of just playing to play with my friends. But football, yeah, it's a struggle every day. I actually talk about it with Randy Flint, if you know, from Nixa. Me and him, we talk about it quite frequently about how much we miss it and everything. Which obviously he's stuck into play, but it's tough. You build such a strong bond and like so much fun, and kind of just dealing with the aftermath of that, especially this time of year comes around, first week coming up and all that stuff. So still a soft spot for sure. Probably won't ever go away, but we still throw the football around here, and I get a punt in every once in a while. So get my fair share, but yeah, definitely miss it.
Well, just find a judge in Christian County like everybody else and get a 5th year and come catch passes from Adam McKnight. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
That would be a good time, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate your time and staying up late. Yeah, I think you got to come back and get another shot at the Tournament of Champions dunk contest. I don't think you really got to show what I think it was the beanie. Maybe if you didn't wear the beanie, you'd been and stuff. But so. Do you want a rematch on that? Chance to come back and try to dunk or?
No, I don't think I was going to win. So it was fun to just be out there and enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, Wyatt, best of luck to you. Any good cards that you picked up down there? Do you do any card shopping when you have some downtime in Florida or not?
Yeah, sometimes. I've mostly just been selling a lot of stuff recently, but, every once in a while I'll go pick up a cool card, go to a card show. I got a hand-cut Babe Ruth, I think 1921, a couple weeks ago, so that's pretty cool. But
is there a Wyatt Vincent card out yet?
Actually, they come out in, I think, mid-September. So
do they?
Yeah, get your hands on some Bowman Chrome. I'll be in it.
Bring me one back, and I'm sure the guys at Fast Break will be loving when you get back, and because they probably about closed up shop without you coming in and buying stuff here the last few months, right? So.
Oh yeah, my dad goes in and pays a good visit every couple days, so.
Very good. Well, Wyatt, best of luck to you. And again, we're pulling for you, and let's catch up again later on down the road, okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you, Wyatt. Wyatt Vincent, the former Nixa standout, of course, football, basketball, baseball, whatever he did very well with, and a good kid, and we wish him the best in his professional career. Big jump there. Had a chance to be a Bear, and it would have been a different life, and that program is really taking off right now. That's expecting a big year this coming spring, but it was time to go try that pro ball, and he's doing a great job of hanging in there and climbing the ladder with the New York Mets. A big thank you to our sponsors. Thompson Sales are located at 1555 East Independence in South Springfield. Thompson boys have been dealing since 1919. They're your home for the largest selection in the Ozarks of Cadillac, Buick, and GMC cars and trucks. They've got new and used. They got a great service department, body shop. They've got the new oil change building has been constructed and ready for you to come in and get those quick lubes. All at Thompson Sales, 1555 East Independence. Go in and see the boys there. They'll treat you like family. They've been doing it since 1919. Also, big thanks to Colton Steakhouse of Springfield, just down the street from Thompson's at 2020 East Independence. We always say go buy a car or a truck, then go celebrate your new purchase at Colton's, because you're going to get a great steak, burgers, barbecue, whether it's lunch or dinner. It's all good stuff at Colton Steakhouse. Stop in and try the Montana burger. If there's a better burger in town, I'm not sure where it is. So go see the folks at Colton's. And finally, Deadeye Gun in Sparta. The stores at 7483 Main Street in Sparta. You can also visit DeadeyeGunSupply.com. Check out their great selection of pistols, rifles, all the ammunition. They've got gun safes. I saw on their Facebook page they've got a couple of really nice, I think 24 gun safes that have come in. First come, first serve for those. Jonathan and his team at Deadeye will take care of you. Make sure you've got the right weapon you're looking for there from Deadeye Gun in Sparta. That's going to do it. Again, special thanks to Wyatt for his time. We'll see you next week on Around the Ozark Sports Scene.